All right, you guys, we are recording. So let me share my screen. And there you go. All right, let's do this.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Go Senior Coach Strong Bootcamp. We are going to be talking about our why before the how. My name is Sarah Grace. I am an executive director for Optavia. I actually came into the company because of my weight loss, healthy body side, and then found the financial side. I was able to get rid of 74 pounds in 5.5 months. And help a lot of autoimmune issues. And so I did lose a little bit more quickly than the average. And I have to remind my clients of that. It's not your typical, but I went from healthy body and now healthy mind, and I'm helping my healthy finances.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. And my name is Priscilla Allen. And I can't see anyone, so I hope you guys can see me.
Yeah.
So I'm a regional director with the company. I've been coaching for, I guess, committed to coaching. It's been a year now. And I didn't come through the healthy body side. I came more through the healthy finance side. I wanted to stay home with my children, just like Sarah Grace has her kids. And I was able to build this business and change many lives. And, we continue to grow this thing. I just fall in love with Optavia more and more every day. And I'm just excited to be able to show you guys the second part of, our basics for growing the business. So we'll get started now.
Thanks, Michelle. Friends, if you are not muted, would you please make sure that you mute yourself so that everyone has an opportunity to hear the training? All right, so we have a couple of awesome people on the call, and they're actually my wonderful friends and coaches on my team, Mandy and Corey Nation, and they're going to give us some tips from a coach that was recently in your shoes, and they're going to tell us about their health coaching journey, and then they're going to pretend like if they could go back and talk to themselves, what would they say?
Hi, everyone. I'm Mandy.
Hi, I'm Corey.
We're the Nations. I started last year in May 1st-ish. I had and still have a little bit of weight to lose. I've lost, before plan and with plan, 100 pounds. Corey's lost the same 100 pounds. We still both have a little bit more to go. The Optavia has changed our lives, for sure. I started coaching after 3 weeks, I think. And the main reason I said was accountability, and that is really true for me, but it was also for finances. I really didn't say that because I didn't want anybody knowing like I needed the money, for it to pay for my food, but really, I really needed it to help pay for the food. We had 2 small kids. They're now 2 and 3, and one of them's saying mommy right now. So I did the program for a few months, and convention was right then, like a month after I started coaching. So I went to it was here in Austin. I live in Austin. And so it was really easy. So I went to convention, which was amazing. I totally recommend that to anybody and everybody for this next year. It was a game changer. I came back from it, and I'm like, my husband's going on plan. He's going to start coaching. He has no idea, but he's going to do it because this is amazing. Like, I see all these wonderful couples and how they're meshed together and how much in sync they are. Not just healthy, but just in sync mentally. Yeah, it's a picture of mommy and daddy. And me and Lola. Yeah. Anyway, so I just wanted that for us, not just the weight loss, that for sure, but I wanted us to be in sync with each other. And so I said, you're going to do it. And he's like, I'm not ready. I'm going to wait 2 months. I'm doing my own thing. I said, okay, you can do it for 2 months. If you don't lose any weight or not doing good, please give us a try. Give Optavia a try. And after 2 months, he didn't gain any weight. He just had plateaued. So he started plan, and you lost 60,
60, 70, somewhere in that neighborhood.
like within 4 months. Of course, he's a man, so that's irritating sometimes, but it is what it is. So it's amazing now. Like, we work together. We are in sync on our eating, on what our goals are as a family. I mean, we knew we talked about dreams, but not true goals. And like, we're totally in sync, which is amazing. And I rarely let him talk, so that's a problem too. So I'll let you talk about, so Corey didn't go to convention. He didn't get trained as a new coach. He jumped in with me and tried to catch up. And so, like, he's a good example of probably what not to do. And I didn't do everything Sarah told me to. And so you can tell us the part about what we should have done better.
Yeah. When I first felt comfortable to start coaching was probably around, I'm going to say October or November of last year. And that's when I started coming out and letting people see what was happening with me. And all of a sudden, a lot of my friends and colleagues were wondering, well, what are you doing? How are you doing this? And I hadn't had any actual training. I hadn't had any information, really.
Maybe
And
get on calls.
I was nervous to get on calls. I didn't feel comfortable asking Sarah and Tony to help me get on calls. So I tried picking up from where I had heard one half of the conversation from Mandy on listening to her do explore and interest calls. And I really probably messed up more than I did right. Focusing on the wrong aspects, not asking open-ended questions, and just trying to guide a conversation as opposed to letting the people lead with their story and pointing out where we can help with their story. I tried to fit them into the program instead of fit the program into them. And so one of the things I would definitely change, given hindsight being 2020, is I would definitely have been more open to doing more explore calls, not only with my direct coach, but with my mentor also, so that I could see the different aspects. And I would be following the health survey and the interest sheets that are part of the Optavia coaching kit now. Those, even just in the month since convention's been back, now that we've got those are so helpful on keeping track of information and keeping your clients and your prospective clients, so that you're taking notes on all of this and you're able to see where these people are in their lives. And you can check with them on your weekly check-ins or your daily check-ins for week one, and point out what is happening and what's helping with you and the clients right now. So
another thing is, get on these calls. Like, we phased out. Like, we did really good for a while, and then we took a break for about 6 months where we didn't grow. We went to convention this year because I had prepaid it last year. So it was in Dallas. It was only 3 hours away, so we went. And I'm telling you, it got us fired up again. Like, it's amazing. And we're actually having our best month ever right now. And it's because we're in sync. We're doing the systems that we've been trained to do. We're actually doing them now, and we're getting on the calls. And so, like, we're getting the energy from the other coaches. We're getting energy from our team. Staying focused. I'm kind of like, I don't have ADHD, but I feel like I kind of do, because like I'll squirrel. And so doing this and having people helping me be accountable to stay on with our business and touching it every day has been amazing. I had a lady today that just messaged me, and we have a meetup scheduled on Monday. That would never have happened before. I would have to reach out to them, and she's reaching out to me saying she needs help. So that was amazing.
And
You're awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Would you guys say that you are coaching structurally now, and that's why things have changed versus emotionally?
We're definitely doing it in a structured, more
Awesome.
deliberate environment. And
Fabulous.
We're trying.
You're doing it. I'm proud of you.
I'm trying.
not entirely.
All right. You got this. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it.
That's awesome. So one of the things that Corey talked about was actually, having like a client tracker with you, or now we call it our health assessment, right? And guys, I mean, if you're brand new in the business, I cannot emphasize how important this is. When I started my business, I didn't really take this to heart, when my coach told me to actually have a health assessment for everyone I talk to. But, as the time goes on, you are going to forget who you talk to, and you can't keep everything up here. There's so much going on that you can't keep everything up there. So it's important, that we have one of these in front of us whenever we talk to a potential candidate. You probably will be on the call with a mentor coach. It's going to be you and a mentor coach, and you can actually follow through this. And I love this new health assessment, because everything you see down here, it pretty much tells you like what questions to ask, in their current state, their desired future, which are the questions you need to ask. I mean, and if they can't see you, you can literally like ask these questions verbatim, and they won't even know that you probably have like a script in front of you, which is awesome. And so it breaks down for you every single step. Step 2, their current state, their desired future. And then, what are their habits? You want to get to know them more, so this health assessment is important that you have with every single person you talk to, that you do a share call or an explore call with. You want to have this in front of you, because you will eventually forget. And those are the people that you're going to want to be following up with eventually in the future. So even if it's a no now, it doesn't mean it's a no always. I used to get so hung up with the no's and be like, oh my gosh, nobody wants to do this. But like, don't get hung up, because I mean, one thing that my mentor coaches told me, it's a no now. And it's true. I mean, I have clients today that, I seriously was on them for a year. And today they're coaches, and they're killing it both on program as coach and their business, So you got to keep this and tuck them away in a little folder, which we'll eventually talk about that later. And it'll break down here. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse or not, but, it'll break down for you guys. If they say yes, what's the next step to do? And if they say no, what's the next step to do? And then in the bottom, it gives you like the description, every week when you have your call-in time with them, your 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to talk to them. You're going to put the date, you're going to put the description, like what was their weight loss, what were their non-scale victories, and any notes on the side as well. So it's very organized for you. The next thing you're going to want to have in front of you is your 3-way call or Zoom outline. This outline actually talks about, I guess it's a little bit the older version, but it's actually something good to talk about. It talks about the 6 steps that you're going to need, to open the call, how you're going to introduce the person over your mentor coach. We're going to do all the, I can't really see this here. And open-ended questions. Yeah. Okay. So it talks about those open-ended questions as well that, Corey was talking about. Oh my gosh, these are so important. Instead of asking questions, like I was listening to training yesterday, and one of the things that the trainer said was like, instead of asking, so what did you think about it? You should ask more questions like, so what story stood out to you the most, or what stood out to you the most from the call, and having all these open-ended questions is the same thing with, their well-being, like their tracker and everything. You want to ask open-ended questions like, what does 60 pounds mean to you? Like, what does that weight loss mean to you? Or like, what would you do different? Like, would you be able to hike? Would you shop differently? So all these open-ended questions, but you're going to want to have this guide in front of you as well, because you're going to be able to see what your mentor coach is going through as they're talking to them about everything in the trilogy, I guess, the healthy body, mind, and finances. And last but not least, the thing you see on the right side, the circle, explore their why. One of the biggest things is, be interested in them. Don't be interesting. So don't, that was really hard for me because I love to talk. Everybody knows that. All my friends know that. I love to talk. So that was like the biggest part for me. When I used to do these trainings with Jamil or with Craig, it was like, I wanted to talk more. I wanted to share more. So it's less of us and more of them. 80% of the call, they're talking, not us. We're asking the questions and they're talking, so that they can really get in touch with their why, and you can really get in touch with their why. And, it's really important. That's what sets us aside from every other program, is the fact that we are not a diet. We are really focusing on a lifestyle change. But in order for that to happen, we need to know more about them. So 80% of the conversation is going to be talking about their why. The 20%, we're going to talk about all the components within, the program, which is the educational component, the community, the free health coach, and our fuelings. That's 20% of the call. And then, the other, I guess, slight, green part there, is questions they might have, simple questions you may want to ask about, they might ask you about the program, like how it works or whatever. And then, the invitation, that's going to be really important. And then you're going to invite them to do program. And then after that, you decide what's going to happen. So that's what's going to happen in a call, which I already talked about there. All right, Sarah?
All right, so the biggest thing, we've already hit on this, but this is huge. You need to get connected with their why before you give them the how. And if you don't know their why, then, it's not going to work. You have to know that why. It builds instant credibility between you and whoever else is on the call and that potential client. When you are interested versus interesting, you're wanting to know about that, and you are building, it's giving you an opportunity to build a relationship with that person, which you should also be doing with your weekly check-ins, asking a new question that you don't know. They're your very best friend for that 5 minutes. It allows us to earn the right to share. So like Priscilla, I kind of like to talk myself. So it's hard sometimes to rein that back in because you're so excited and you want to tell them everything, but it's not your turn yet. And you need to let them tell about themselves so that you have the right to tell them how this is going to work. And if you don't make those changes, then this will just truly be a diet in a box. They will get feelings that would just be like food or product, and they get some books that they never open. And that's the biggest change with Optavia. We are not a diet. We are a lifestyle change. Fuelings are a tool that we use, and we are not selling anything. We are offering an opportunity. And this is not a one-size-fits-all program. Not everyone is going to be on the 5-in-1. Not everyone is going to have the same everything. The majority of your people that sign up will have a similar plan, but not everybody, and you have to find out what they need. So these are some awesome questions that you can ask, especially towards the end of your call. Sometimes it's hard for my coaches to hang up. It's kind of like, okay, yay, I'm so glad we talked, and it's awkward at the end. So some things that you could say, like, what would you like to accomplish with your health goals? Why do you want to get healthy? Like, these aren't yes or no questions. When was the last time you were able to be where you wanted to be? How will your journey affect the lives of those you love? That's really good for caregivers and for parents. What will success look like for you? And what would you be loving most about your new life or your new health? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are you to begin your journey? So I suggest that you write this down. We can go back to it later on. If you have any questions, we can let you know about those. And you are going to want to tie it all together and put a nice pretty bow on top. So you are painting a picture of what's possible for them. Without that why, we can't paint the picture. So you really, really want to dig deep and find out what this person needs, what this person requires, so that we can show them what is offered as an Optavian. You want to summarize their present. So, all right, Priscilla, you are a mom of 2 little people. You're super busy. You have little ones that are waking up in the middle of the night. I bet you're pretty tired. You've talked to me about how you don't get much sleep. You're also a nursing mother, so you're worried about getting enough nutrition to feed your little one and for yourself. So I know that might be something that you're struggling with. Would you like to explore the option of better health? And then that's when you can tie in the 4 components.
Awesome. So speaking of the 4 components, So we spoke about these, we touched these a little earlier today. The 4 components of, I guess you can say, the healthy body side of things is the free health coach, the habits of health system, the community, and the fuelings. So obviously one thing that I love about this is a free health coach that you get. And, as a coach, like when I became a coach, I used to tell my coach, like, I can't do this. Like, I can't tell you the difference between a calorie and a carb. Like, this is really bad, And one thing, he told me was like, Priscilla, if you have the heart, for other people and you want to help other people, that's really what you need. Everything else is going to come to you, So this is where you come in. You're actually that key element in this whole thing. You tie all this thing together beautifully for a client, You're pretty much that person's cheerleader, that person's support. You love on that person. You're going to walk that journey. You're going to run that journey with that person. And that's where you come in, so you're a very important part of the entire puzzle. I mean, who doesn't love a free health coach? I love the fact that I have someone I can check in with, on a weekly basis, or I love that I can text him. Now he's my business mentor as well. So he's both my personal coach right now, and he's also my mentor coach. But I love that I can check in with him, and, he keeps me accountable and everything. So that's one of the components. Obviously, the second is the habits of health system. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you haven't gotten into the books, I highly recommend you do. One of the things we were noticing is, maybe a lot of us, because we get so consumed with the business part of things, that sometimes we forget, what was really the foundation of this all, which was Dr. A's, habits of health, developing these habits and stuff. And, get into the book yourselves, learn where the chapters are and everything, because you're going to be able to recommend to people. If you don't know something about like sleep, shoot, I don't know everything about sleep, I send them to that chapter of sleep. You know what I'm saying? And you say, hey, it seems like, you're having troubles with this part. Like, how can I help you this week or whatever? What do you want to work on? And boom, everything is in there. That's like literally your encyclopedia of health. So that's what I love about this. The third part is the community. Just having a family and people of like-minded people. I mean, who doesn't love that? When we post on our own client support sites and like everybody loves on you and they don't even know you and they're encouraging you and loving on you. I mean, we're human beings. We love that, So that community, we talk about that and we emphasize how it's important to be a part of something like that. And then obviously our fuelings, that's what's going to help us. It's going to give us that kickstart to lose that weight, and get to where we want to get to. Imagine having to meal prep and count calories and go to the gym. That's so much work, and our fuelings and our bodies do everything for us. So those are the 4 components that we talk about. The next thing is, the goal is to explain how each component can specifically assist them to reach their goals, using what they just outlined are important to them. So we will again emphasize and talk about everything and make a match for them. We have different programs in Optavia. For example, like Sarah said, I'm actually in the Nursing Mothers program right now, and then my husband did the 5-in-1, so we have different things. I have clients that are doing the diabetic program. I have teens that are doing their teen program. So you got to make a match for what is important to them and what they're looking for, and also based on their, background. So you can't, we also have a senior guide. That's what I was going to say too. We have a senior guide. So, I mean, you have a guide for pretty much everyone. And I just encourage you to go into your own website and look for the programs and guides and see everything we have there so that you can make a perfect match for your client in front of you. So there it is. We talked about the free health coach. That's Jamil, one of our mentor coaches, and Becky as well. And so that's going to be awesome. You're going to have that. Your clients are going to have that for free. And that's why you guys are here as well. And the habits of health. I guess I talked about everything in the beginning. Sorry, you guys. You see, I love to talk. All right. So I guess you'll touch on community, Sarah.
Yes, and that's okay. Priscilla already talked about it, but that's one of the best things because we are a community. You really, really want to make sure that your clients and potential clients understand and use this wisely so that they don't feel like they're alone. That's why we are so super successful, because you're not just thrown, to the wolves and like, here you go, have fun, figure it out. You're never by yourself. So we have our Facebook client support pages. There are some larger ones, and then some of your coaching families have made smaller ones, maybe just for men or women or for your downline, and coaches and clients underneath you to specifically help them. I also like starting private message groups. That is something that we do from the very beginning in my coaching family. there when there's a new client, and then I add myself and then my direct business and coach. So Tony is my coach. So I had her add her. So you have 2 layers of help. Tony is also in a different time zone than I'm in. So I let them know that if I am busy, she may not be. And that's one of the best ways to get almost instant help. So I do suggest having 2 layers of support in those chat groups. And then like doing your weekly calls. For the first 4 days, you want to check in with them. At convention, we found out, or we were told that it's like your clients are in ICU. You help them, help them, help them, help them, help them. Don't let them feel like they're alone, because those first 4 days are when people may fall off. They're hard. They get hangry. They don't like it. Just have them push through. And if they know that you're there and they know that you're going to follow up and help them out, then they're less likely to want to end this healthy journey. And doing your weekly calls. If they know that you're going to be calling, they expect that. They're going to look forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have our fuelings and our lean and green meals. And something that I really, really want to emphasize is that our fuelings are just a tool. It is not a product. It is not something that we are selling or like out there, like people are pimping products all the time, like on Facebook and stuff. And that's not what we're doing. We're offering these fuelings as a tool to learn this new healthy lifestyle instead of having to meal prep and plan everything, which I've tried before and I failed because it's hard. You are starting with a certain amount of fuelings depending on your plan, and a certain amount of lean and green meals that you are learning to make properly with the proper balanced nutrition and how much of a lean you need, how much of a green. Page 18 and 19 in your guide are those super important pages that spells everything out for your new clients and even for us now. And so our fuelings and learning how to make those meals, and then eventually, if they choose to, they can make all the meals on their own, or they can continue on with these well-balanced fuelings that are amazing and super helpful for on-the-go and busy people like most of us are.
Awesome. So what is the right way to order a kit for your clients? One of the most important things in our components, aside from the fueling, is the habits of health system. If you just order the food for them, you guys, it's just a diet, first of all. And then second of all, if you go individually asking them, what do you like or what do you not like? And you start, choosing what they want and everything, you are going to tire yourself out. You're going to burn yourself out really quick, and you're not going to want to do that because people are really picky, right? So what we do is, we offer them the kit. We have 2 kits, our optimal kit, obviously the Optavia Select, and we also have the Optavia Essential optimal kit as well. So both of these kits, have, I believe it's 17 boxes, and the books as well. And, the Optavia Select obviously is $22.95 per box, which is $16.39 a day for all your meals. Or you can do the Optavia Essential, which is $20.95 a box, and it's $14.96 a day. Honestly, guys, that's not a lot. On average, an American spends about $21 a day. If, you go into your bank account, I don't know about you guys, some people might be frugal, but like me, I was a Starbucks lover, and Starbucks is a really, really expensive habit, and sometimes people don't realize that, so sometimes people, will be like, oh, that's a little too much. But when you start breaking things down for them, they begin to realize, oh my gosh, I spend way more than that, So you want to make sure that you offer them the kit because 2, it saves you time. 2, they're going to get the habits of health system. And, 3, they're also going to be able to get the 5 extra free boxes that Optavia is going to offer them. So when they do the kit, they'll do the 17 boxes, the habits of health system, and then you offer 5 more boxes for free that Optavia is going to give them, which is about an average of $114, which is a whole week practically worth of food. So this is the right way to do it. Get with your mentor coach and make sure that they're able to help you break down when it comes to the money. Because I feel like this is the iffy part for some people. They don't really want to talk about money, and we got to talk about it. It is a business, So get with your mentor coach and just talk about how you need to break this down with people, because you can either make it very awkward for people, or you can make it like, oh, okay, well, that's not bad. So this is the best program to order.
Hey, Priscilla, do you mind if I jump in really quickly?
Mm-hmm.
Something that on what she was just saying is if you feel uncomfortable with the price, they will feel uncomfortable with the price. So if you're like, I'm sorry, it's kind of expensive, it's like $17 a day, then they're gonna be like, well, holy crap, like these, if she does it all day long and she thinks it's too expensive, then of course it's gonna be too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you word it properly, okay, well, and or ask them, how much a day do you spend? Or look at your bank account for the next week. Write down how much you spend at a gas station, at a drive-through. If you randomly stop by the grocery store because you haven't planned, you'll break it down like what Priscilla was just saying. Also, the only difference between these two kits now is that the Select kit is GMO free. And so you will have some clients that prefer that. They both are free of artificial everything. They're completely clean labels. So artificial sugars, dyes, sweeteners, colors, all of that. It's all natural. So since we are fully Optavia, I strongly suggest only ordering Optavia products. And you will have those randoms like me that have a gluten allergy and need to have something other than a kit, but there really is an easy way on your ordering site to click and say gluten-free products, and then everything pops up, and it's way, way, way simple.
That's cool. I learned something new today.
Yeah.
Awesome. Obviously, there's going to be questions and answers. So this is where you're going to get into all that. They might ask you questions about how much, or like, how does the program work, or, how are they going to lose weight so fast, and blah, blah. So you're going to answer these questions. Try not to spend too much time on this part because they're going to really, once they do the program, they're going to dive into it, and they're going to, you're going to be talking to them every day for the first 4 days anyway. So then after that is the optional invitation. You can obviously encourage them and love on them. And, you got at some point, I guess you can say you got to close the conversation, right? Because I remember when I was just a coach, I just kept going and going in the beginning, and I didn't know how to close the conversation and be like, so do you want to do this? Do you want to try it or what, So these are many different options that you have to, offer them. You have some amazing goals, and I really believe that we can reach them together. What do you say? Do you want to give it a shot? Do you want to give it a try? You'll never know if this works for you unless you try it. Are you ready to try it? I can tell you story after story of so many people I know that have done this program, and it's been amazing for them. But at the end of the day, they're not you, right? So, what can you do? Just at least try it, Or are you ready to partner with me to start your new journey, to optimal health? Or how about we do this together? What do you think? Should we give it a try? How serious are you about reaching your health goals on a scale of 1 to 10? If you're a 10, there's a coach whom I love very much, and she's on this con. She used to make me laugh. She used to tell me that when they would tell her, oh, I'm at 6, she'd be like, all right, call me when you're at 8, 9, or a 10. I was like, how could you do that? She's like, well, if they're not going to be all in, like, I can't be all in either. They have to be invested in this for me to be invested, So, how excited are you to do this? Are you ready to take the next step? So these are all optional ways that you can do it to close the conversations and decide. Because if you don't close the conversation, man, it'll just keep going and going and going. And they might keep asking you questions, or you're just really trying to convince them that this is the amazing program that's going to be for them. And so you want to have ways to close the conversation. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay. So sometimes you're going to get a not yet. Typically about every 7 or 8 people that you talk to out of 10, it's going to be like, hey, not now, maybe later, in a few months. And I talked to a coach yesterday, and someone told her like in December, it may be a little while, but that's okay. Like they're watching, they're listening. What you need to do is follow the systems though, because we have a system for everything. And I will admit, I'm holding up my right hand, Tony and Jamil, I did not follow the systems, and it messed me up. So just follow the systems, learn from my mistakes. You want to send a thank you email within the first 24 hours. And what I have learned is people can avoid emails. They can just delete, but they respond to texts pretty well. So I like to take the thank you email and just copy paste and send it in a text message. And I've gotten more response to that. Make sure you have their email before the end of the call, that it's a good number, it's a good email, good everything. Add their email to your connections group, and then make sure that you are friends with them on Facebook and you've added them to the Facebook support pages. And then you want to follow up with that candidate on the date and time that you said. So we're talking today, and I'll say, all right, Priscilla, is this a good time for you every day? Could I call you back Monday at 7 or Tuesday at 8? What would be best for you? So give them a couple of options, decide which one it is. I like to put it in my Google Calendar because I live by those reminders. And then you can also put a reminder in there for them as well, and that helps. And so you are going to call at the date and time that you said. So I'm going to call Priscilla Monday at 7. She doesn't pick up. NBD, no big deal. Like, it is nothing against me. I didn't do anything wrong. And she just didn't pick up the phone. So leave a message. Hey, Priscilla, this was the day that I said I was going to follow up with you. I just wanted to let you know that I'm here. I will try calling you tomorrow at the same time. I hope you had a great day. I call tomorrow. She doesn't pick up. Leave a message. I call the third day. She doesn't pick up. Okay. All right, Priscilla, I was calling you back. It was the third day. I wanted to be a lady of my word, and I told you I was going to call back. So I don't want you to think that I'm bugging you. I love you so much, and I want you to be super healthy and happy and reach all of your goals, but I understand that at this point in time, it may not be what's best for you. So I want you to know our friendship always comes first, and I'm here for you. And if you need anything, please reach out, and I will talk to you soon. So I just gave them the off the hook. I just broke up with Priscilla. Priscilla doesn't like that. It doesn't feel good to get broken up with. So she may reach out. She may not. She may reach out again in 3 or 4 months and say, hey, remember when you called me? Yeah, I'm ready to do that. But you're staying in constant contact with them. She is in my connections email, so I'm emailing her every 2 weeks or on like the 1st and 15th of the month. You don't just say, all right, peace out. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Stay in contact with them. Okay, the do's and don'ts. Don't give your how before you understand their why, and you strongly understand their why. You really, really need to get connected to that so that you can help them. Don't send out your website or pricing information in text or messenger. One of the things on Facebook that they don't like when you post websites, they see it as trying to take views away from Facebook and take time away from Facebook, so they can actually like downgrade your availability. I don't know. They make it to where with the algorithms, they make it to where your site or your Facebook page isn't as viewable to people. So that's another reason. And we just don't do that. And we don't send out our ordering website anyways because you need to help them order. Have your support team on calls, even though I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on this. Sometimes I'll ask Tony or somebody else in my support team to jump on a call because I don't know everything and I need help. I'm still learning. No matter what, we're always learning. So have them jump on a call with you. Practice your question asking skills. That's a really big one. So get on a call with someone in your team and just practice. Practice in the mirror, practice with people on the street, just ask questions and follow the systems because they really do work.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. So your action steps for this week, it'd be great for you guys to invite, the 10 people you already identified to a 3-way conversation with your coach. If you've already gotten with your coach, you've talked about this 3-way Zoom or this 3-way call you guys are going to be doing, invite these 10 people. Don't wait, guys. Like I would suggest if you just became a coach, start, don't be like, oh, I'll just wait till my kid gets here. No, start now, start with the 10 people you identified and start those conversations going. Put together your thank you email and your connections group. Gmail is the best for that connections group. It's really easy, to set your group up and everything and start adding emails in there, and get your first connections email together to get with your mentor coach again, so they can help you out with that. Obviously, you want to do this through text or through phone call within the next 24 hours, to these 10 people you want to reach out to. And then complete at least 5 3-way conversations by Wednesday evening. So that's a challenge, but y'all can do it. I know you can. So just complete at least 5 of those 3-way conversations, get the rhythm going, and then make sure you debrief with your coach. It's really important. These calls are really important that you debrief with them after them. I'm pretty sure your mentor coach is going to be like, hey, call me to debrief or let's talk after you hang up with that person, let's debrief. That is where all the learning is going to go down. You're going to be able to talk to your mentor coach about how, what happened, and you're going to hear all those open-ended questions, your coach noticed, and she's going to highlight some things for you and everything. So just, make sure you guys get on that call with your coach, with your mentor coach. And then, Yeah, start 5 clients by next Saturday morning. Be a senior coach by next Saturday morning. And make sure that you're meeting with your accountability partner if you have one, on a weekly basis. This really helps a lot. We're doing the August Madness, and I just love the fact that I know that I have to be accountable to my partner. We hop on a call every Tuesday and Thursday, and that's super awesome because you know that someone is looking out for you and to be like, hey, what have you done? Have you filled out your action steps or everything? So make sure you talk to your mentor coach about finding an accountability partner for you. So Sarah, you want to take this one?
Sure. So if you haven't seen this, this is our incentive for the month. When you sign up a new coach and sponsor a new coach from the first of the month, so for us it will be now, you may want to go ahead and take a screenshot of this if you haven't, guys, through the end of the month, and you help them reach $500 in frontline volume, so that would be signing up their first 2 clients, then I get $50 bonus and they get a $50 bonus. So for some people, this may be an incentive to help them out and say, hey, I'll help you get those first 2 clients. And if finances are an issue, you could always use like $25 of your bonus to help them out, or, all of your bonus. It may be a way for them to help someone new. These are those extra little incentives that can be helpful, maybe even as cash on account. Like, hey, you get those first 2 clients. I know that you're signing up to a coach because you have a financial need. I'll help you out with $25 cash on your account if you allow me to coach you to get those first 2 clients, since you're helping them out. And this is a really awesome thing. Our business does stuff like this all the time. They just give away free money, and it's fabulous. And if you're not really sure about this incentive, connect with your accountability group and with your mentor group and ask them more about it.
Awesome. And then last but not least, guys, I cannot stress how important conventions are. Oh my gosh, these things are life-changing.
Yes.
Convention is going to be next year in St. Louis, Missouri. So I would suggest you guys get that early bird rate. It's going on till August 31. It's going to be $199. Guys, for real, it's absolutely affordable. And if you're really serious about your business, do it. Just do it. I challenge you guys to just do it, maybe break it down like this month, get the early bird rate, get this, bam, you got this down. And then every month start saving a little bit for your hotel room and your flight and everything, go on to cheaptickets.com, go on to kayak.com. You guys, there's so many engines out there we can look for cheap tickets. I cannot stress how important these events are, you guys, and I would love to see every single one of you guys there. This year I made it possible. I had a baby June 6th, so my baby was probably like 5 weeks old when I flew out to convention. But I was like, I'm going one way or another. And what I did is, I'm a breastfeeding mom. I pumped my milk for that whole weekend, and I was pumping out over there. But I was like, I'm not missing this for anything, And it truly has been life-changing, and it has been, it has changed so much for my business as well. So I just encourage you guys to do this. The more you wait, the more you prolong it, and the more you're kind of playing with the idea in your head, the prices are going to go up, So regular registration is $225. That's going to start September 1st all the way to April 30th. Late registration, oops, you're almost missing the boat, but you're not there yet. It's going to be $250. It's at May 1 through June 30th of next year. And then from July 1 to convention, it's going to be $275. So I just encourage you guys to do this. There's also the price for new coaches, clients, and guests, and that's from July 22nd to convention. So that's going to be next year when you've already brought on, no. Sorry, that's this year. Yeah, it's going to be $199. So I just encourage you guys to really, do this if you can, it's possible for everybody. You guys can do this, just start talking to your mentor coach and tell them that, yeah, you're interested in this, and they're going to help you out in getting this stuff together.
Priscilla did mention that she's a breastfeeding mother and was pumping while she was there. We have a lot of awesome accommodations for mommies and daddies that take their babies with them and big kids with them. This past convention at the Gaylord, there were special events for kiddos that went. there was like a daycare and different things. So I'm assuming that I don't know for sure, but more than likely we'll have something similar to that in St. Louis this next year. So it is something that you can take your family along with you. But they can like Priscilla, went and she made pumping work. I know there were multiple nursing moms that went there, and there were rooms for that, and cry rooms and availability, and they make it work for all parents. And yeah, so don't let being a mommy or daddy hold you behind. I know it's easy to feel guilty for leaving. I have 2 little ones myself, but this really, really is important to grow yourself and grow your business.
Alrighty, guys. So let me stop recording. Any questions?
Yeah, feel free to take yourselves off of mute if you have any questions.
Oops, I'm trying to move this thing to the side to stop.
We may have just been that good that they don't have any questions.
I'm going to stop recording. Stop.